Hi everyone, this is Matthew Nunes and welcome to EGS 215 Workplace Writing for our winter term. So in this video, I'm going to show you around our Canvas site and also tell you a little bit about the class. So just as if we were in a face-to-face course, I might give you the general overview on our first day. That's one thing I'm going to be doing in this video, since we are entirely online. By video is the best way to do this. So when you open our Canvas site, this is what you're going to see. And if you've taken an online course at Miami before, you might be familiar with how Canvas is set up. But if you have not, you do want to make sure you take enough time to explore our site to see how Canvas works, where everything is. And of course, every online course can be set up a little bit differently. So you do want to make sure you see how our course is set up for you. So on the opening page, of course, I have an easy link to the syllabus and to the modules, and of course, my email information here to get a hold of me. And so, of course, on the right-hand side, you can see this to-do list, which can be helpful for you to make sure you're getting everything done. Of course, this doesn't always list everything in the correct order if multiple things are listed on one day. So the modules page really is the best place to start when you are going through all of the different activities and assignments and doing them in the correct order. But I'll tell you more about that in a moment. The best place to start out with for the class is the syllabus, so you get an understanding of what the class is all about. And on this page, you'll see a little bio of me, so you can get a chance to know a little bit about me and a little video about me as well. My contact information is here. Now, I do have an office on the Middletown campus, but during the winter term, I won't really be in that office much, so that phone number is to my office phone. So really the best way to get a hold of me during this winter term is by email. And of course, I'm always available to have scheduled video meetings with you as well. So whatever works for you. I generally can be pretty flexible with setting up times during the winter term if you'd like to meet. And of course, email is always good as well. And I have some general information about my department here. And of course here, if you'd rather print out the syllabus, because this is a very long document, I have a printable copy here. It takes you to a Google Doc. It just is not including my biographical information that I have above there. But that could be helpful for you if you'd rather print this out to make sure you can read it that way, because it's about 9 pages when I print it out. But I do have the general overview of the course here. I'm going to let you read a lot of this on your own. But just in short, really, workplace writing really is what that title describes. We're going to be addressing some of the writing that is involved in workplace settings. So that might include common workplace genres, but also, be really tailoring the course toward your own interests. Some of the projects do allow for that. So you want to be keeping in mind what you want to do. So maybe you already have a career that you are pursuing, or that you know for sure that you're going to be going into, or maybe you don't know yet and you're trying to decide on a career. And so in that case, you'll be wanting to think of some careers that do interest you so that you can explore those careers and the writing that is involved in those careers in some of your class work. And of course, you don't have to go into that career, of course, but this is a chance to find out more about a career that you are interested in. So I'm going to let you read all of this on your own to give some general overview of some of the information about the course. And of course, our course outcomes here. Down here, this is information about the advanced writing and the Miami plan, because this is an advanced writing course. And then, of course, some important things I do want to highlight, though. One, of course, is this class, of course, is entirely online, but we also are going to be having all of our class readings on our Canvas page. You do not need to buy a textbook for this class, so that's nice. All of the materials are on our Canvas site. But this does mean if you prefer to read a printed copy, then you will be responsible for printing out a copy on your own. And of course, your your Miami email in particular, is what you'll be needing as well. I do expect you to be checking your email regularly. During the winter term, you really should check this every day, because this class is going to be moving at a very fast pace, and I'll tell you more about that in just a moment. Because we are squeezing a full semester's worth of work into about 3 weeks, and so that's a lot. So what would usually be meeting twice a week during a class is actually meeting like every day, right? So although in this case we're doing online without meetings. So this is the general grading overview. As you can see, 50% of the grade is just on all of the different homework activities. So that includes quizzes, discussion activities, other short assignments, rough drafts, workshopping and peer reviews, things like that. And then, of course, we have 3 major projects for the class, which they're worth various weights here because some are bigger projects than others, but those all together are the other 50% of the grade. And so you can see here those 3 projects. There's one on document design, where you'll be creating a poster or advertisement, and that's 50 points. A guide to writing and communication in your profession, that is a profession you're interested in, that's 100 points. That's a larger project than the others are. And then, of course, some creating career documents, that is particularly a resume and cover letter, as though you were applying for a specific position, and that's 75 points. So more details about that later. And of course, the instructions are already on Canvas for you to view if you want to look ahead. And a few other notes about the syllabus. One, of course, is in terms of light work. You do want to make sure things are in on time. And otherwise, it either might not receive credit at all, or at a minimum will have a late penalty applied. And so really the best approach is to contact me, because I do grant extensions if the circumstances warrant it. So contact me if you're having difficulties, or if you expect something's come up and you won't be able to have something in on time. You do not want to fall behind in this course during the winter term, because it is a lot harder to catch up because we're having something due almost every day. But do contact me. The important thing is communication. This course, of course, is workplace writing. And if you were in a workplace and you couldn't show up to work, you would contact your workplace, your manager, or whoever the appropriate person is. Similarly, a class is a professional space. And so you should contact me if you anticipate not being able to complete something, or if you have questions or difficulties, of course, as well. This is, of course, the grading scale overview. I'll let you read all of that on your own. The schedule, really our Canvas site will be the schedule. I will show you that in a moment. It's at the bottom of this syllabus, but also the modules, really just showing that has all the dates there so you can see when everything is due. And I'm going to skip through here a bit here. I have the academic integrity policy. This is very important. Maybe you've heard this before, of course, but it's always worth repeating. One element, of course, of this is that your work really needs to be your own. You write it yourself, whether you consider yourself a good writer or a bad writer, right? I don't care what your writing abilities are, as long as you need to make sure that it's your own work. So don't let your lack of confidence in your writing abilities, make you want to use somebody else's work or artificial intelligence or something. So make sure it's your own work that you produce for this particular class. And of course, as I state here as well, the use of generative AI is not allowed in this class. And of course, that is because you need to be doing the work yourself. It kind of defeats the whole purpose of assignments if something else is generating the assignment for you, right? So now, granted, of course, AI has a role in some workplace and professional settings, but in an academic setting like this class, AI is not to be used. So, please do not do that. I would do check, make sure everything is that it is your own work, and you get in big trouble if you do this. Is considered an active academic dishonesty, and we don't want to deal with that because I have to submit a report and academic integrity hearing and all that kind of stuff, which is not fun for you or for me. So I'll leave it at that for now, but please do read through this thoroughly. I have some other policies here listed for you, and of course a link to the resources and policies at Miami, which has lots of other details about Miami policies. Then, of course, at the bottom of the syllabus, we do have the course summary here, which, as you can see, today, of course, starting out for our first day of class, we've got a bunch of things here listed. Now, not all of these are an assignment. Some of them are assignments. Some are pages that you need to view, or pages that have readings on it that you should be reading. I'll show you more about that on the modules page in a second. But as you can see, some things do Thursday, Friday, Saturday, skip Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So basically, if you look through the whole schedule, you'll see that we have something due every single day in this class, except for Sundays and Martin Luther King Jr. Day. So that, other than that, there is something due every day, sometimes more than one thing due every day. So you can take a look at the modules to see more about that. And I'll tell you a little bit about the general modules in the class. But with that idea in mind that we are having something due so frequently, make sure you are setting aside enough time to work on this course. This needs to be basically part of your routine every single day. You'll get a sense of how much time it's going to take for you to complete certain assignments. But if you are taking more than one class, that's a real challenge. I've seen some people succeed with that before, but I've seen a lot of other people have trouble with that and just had to end up deciding which class to drop. So during the winter term, at least. keep in mind what your capabilities are and the workload of this course. And of course, if you are taking any other courses, what the workload of those might be. Similarly, if you are working, whether it be part-time or full-time, just keep in mind that, this course does take a lot of time when you have something to do every day. So I don't want to scare you off or something here, but I just want to make sure you're realistic about thinking about that this really is a time commitment for this winter term. So as far as the modules go, we have starting out with module 0, which is the course essentials, kind of the course overview. And what that generally involves is, of course, make sure you read the syllabus, getting some general information about some resources in the class. There is a syllabus quiz. That's one important reason why you should read the syllabus, of course. A syllabus quiz, some readings about email, because, of course, one of the most important and common types of writing in the workplace is email. And so that's what we're going to start with right away. With some readings about email. And that leads up to our introduction assignment, where this is where you're going to be doing a short introduction video to the class. But in preparation for that, you'll be writing a short script for yourself and emailing me about that. Right? So there are more details in the instructions. So you're going to practice professional email to me right away in the class. And then, of course, also posting your introduction video and responding to your classmates, so you get a sense of who else is in the class and their interests, and more getting to know who you're working with in this winter term. And then we're going to finish off module 0 on Friday with some readings about workplace writing and a discussion activity on what is workplace writing. So that's a good place to start thinking about what does that really involve. And then we'll also be starting module 1 on Friday the same day. So as you can see, more than one thing in the same day. And module 1 is focusing on design principles for workplace writing. And of course, in many workplaces, you may be designing documents, whether it be having lots of more graphic design, visuals, or just straight out document design with formatting issues. But document design is very important in workplaces. And so that's one thing we're going to be focusing on module 1. So we'll be focusing on some general principles of visual design. We're going to evaluate some sample visuals. And then you're going to jump right into your first short project, which is creating effective visuals. You'll be creating a poster or an advertisement. More details about that later. But if you take a look at the schedule, you'll see that first project is already going to be due on Monday. This is one of those projects that is a short project. We aren't doing a peer review on this one. One thing, we don't have time, but also it's a project that it's less necessary than other projects. So that's going to be a quick moving project, but it's a lot of fun to go through some visual design and be starting out with a project that involves creating something that's more visual. But there's a written component to the project as well. So more about that later in another announcement and video. Then we'll have a short module on evaluating resources. This is in preparation for the module that comes after this, where you want to understand how to evaluate sources that you can use, not only for this class, but also in workplace settings. It is still important to be able to be credible. And so if you're putting content on a website, for example, it needs to be credible content. And so you need to evaluate the sources that content is, that information is coming from. Module 3 is focusing on a guide to writing and communication in your profession. So this is leading up to really the larger project of the term. But this is where you really get to tailor the class toward your interests and be focusing on researching and then creating a short guide about the writing and communication that's involved in that profession you are interested in. And you'll be gearing this toward other people who are interested in that profession, who are already in that profession. So there's some of these assignments are all leading up toward that. So that's a lot of fun project for me. I really enjoy that project. I hope you will too. And then we'll be having module 4, which is career documents. And this is where you're going to be thinking about creating a resume and a cover letter as though you were applying for a specific position. And of course, that's a very important thing that you'll be needing to do in order to get a job. And it's always good to be getting practice with resumes and cover letters, whether you've written them before or not. So I think you can learn something new there, whether you have some experience with it or if it's brand new to you. So you can feel free to explore this and see where everything is on our Canvas page. But I see this video is long enough, so I'm going to leave it at that for now. But don't hesitate to let me know if you have any questions. Make sure you read that syllabus carefully and see my other announcements. I'll be sending out announcements regularly, pretty much every day for this class, whether it be more details or just even reminders. All right. I hope you all enjoy this class, and I'm looking forward to working with you this winter term.